Hello friends, in this video tutorial I will show you how to put a fresh gypsophila into a balloon without special equipment, without cutting a balloon, and how to paint them in any color at home. So let's get started. Gypsophila, light, airy, will decorate any bouquet. It looks great in compositions both live and dried. For clarity, I will use white live gypsophila and purple dry. Live gypsophila, very elastic, does not break, does not crumble. Dry gypsophila, quite fragile. There are three main ways to stain gypsophila at home. For example, I will cut off the inflorescences and color them in three ways. Gypsophila can be tinted with food coloring. I dissolve 2 tablets of food coloring in warm water and put the gypsophila inflorescences in a glass. Please note that this method is suitable for staining only live gypsophiles. You will need to take the gypsophila out of the water for 30 minutes and then put it in a solution with a dye. Gypsophila is stained in this way in about 24 hours. I will leave the gypsophila in a glass with dye, and we will continue the lessons with you, and at the end of the lesson we will see how much the gypsophila has colored. Let me remind you once again that only fresh gypsophila is colored. It is impossible to color a dry flower in this way. You can also buy a specialized floral paint. In this case, the coloring process can be much faster, and the color will turn out much brighter. Fresh gypsophila will retain its properties for about 3 weeks. Dry gypsophila will delight you for 3 years. It is better to dry gypsophiles in an upright position with flowers down and stems up. The second method of staining is staining the inflorescence of gypsophila with spray paint. I bought acrylic spray paint from a hardware store. I will immediately tell you about the disadvantages of this method of staining. The gypsophila flowers will have a terrible smell. When painting, use gloves. Fold a piece of paper into a triangle and place the gypsophila inside. Gloves are mandatory, otherwise the color of your hands will perfectly harmonize with the color of the painted gypsophila. Staining the gypsophila outdoors. After coloring, leave the inflorescences for a few minutes to dry. It is advisable to leave it in the fresh air so that the unpleasant smell disappears. So, look at what color the flowers have acquired after coloring. The smell has not worn off, and it is not very pleasant. Now I will show you the third method of coloring gypsophila flowers at home. I will cut off one more inflorescence, completely dip it in food coloring. I completely immerse the inflorescence in food coloring along with the first inflorescence, and at the end of the lesson we will see how they will color. To put the gypsophila in a bobo balloon, I divide the gypsophila into inflorescences. I have only 3 sprigs of gypsophila, so the bouquet will be small. Now I'm doing bobo balloon. I don't stretch the balloon beforehand. I immediately start inflating it. Start inflating the bobo balloon with an air generator, and as soon as you notice that the balloon has deformed, stop inflating and quickly twist the neck of the bobo balloon so that the air does not escape. Place the bobo balloon under your arm. The larger side should be at the back and the smaller one in front. Press down on the larger half of the bobo balloon. The air will begin to move into the smaller half and stretch the walls of the bobo balloon. If necessary, do this action several times. Next, I will continue to inflate the bobo balloon using an air generator. Pay attention to the seam. You will see that the seam will be perfectly smooth and the balloon will be symmetrical. I use an 18-inch bobo balloon. I have a small bouquet of gypsophila, so I need the bouquet to look harmonious in a balloon. I'll stretch the neck of the balloon a little with my hands, but this is not enough, so I will show you a very interesting and good method of how to stretch the neck of a balloon much more. I roll up a piece of cardboard and stuff it into the neck of bobo balloon to the bottom. I use the most ordinary travel hair dryer, set it to maximum temperature and start warming up the neck of the bobo balloon. After heating the neck of the balloon, the bobo becomes soft and elastic, and I can expand it much more. Now I'm making a clever device that will help me put flowers inside a balloon, so I took a toilet paper sleeve and cut it. I slightly reduced the diameter of the sleeve and put it inside bobo balloon. The walls of bobo balloon have stuck together a bit, so I add air. I want you to clearly see how easy it is to place live gypsophiles. They are very soft, elastic, and do not crumble at all. And now look at the dried flower. Its stems are very brittle, and after I put them in bobo balloon, it did not fluff. Look, the stems gradually overlap the free space in the sleeve. And now, in order to easily place the remaining flowers and not damage them, I will use baking paper. Wrap the inflorescence tightly in paper and push it through the sleeve into the balloon. To easily and simply get rid of the paper, turn the stem slightly in the opposite direction from the paper twist. I pull out my sleeve and tie the bouquet with a green modeling balloon. Now I'm pruning the stems. Pay attention to this important point. The stems should not be longer than the neck of the bobo balloon. The lower part of the stems is quite sharp, so I isolate it with a paper tape. The stems of the bouquet are perfectly insulated. Now prepare a green balloon for modeling and inflate the bobo balloon no larger than its size. I twisted the bobo balloon a little and tightly tied the upper part of the neck of the bobo balloon with a balloon for modeling. Now stretch the neck of the bobo balloon well. The neck must be stretched so much that it completely covers the stems of the bouquet. At the very end of the neck of Bob's balloon, make 2 knots. Look at what kind of construction turned out now. The air definitely won't come out of the bobo balloon. Now I'm making a stiff handle for the bouquet. I wrap the stems with paper tape. Now I'm making a simple and beautiful balloon decor. I took a floral paper measuring 25 by 25 centimeters. I add some hot glue to the center of the paper and decorate the handle for the bouquet. I glue the paper all the way to the base of the balloon. I fix the upper part of the floral paper with a modeling ball and the color of the paper. Next, I decorate with floral sisal. I cut out 2 squares measuring 30 by 30 centimeters, put them on top of each other with an offset, make a hole in the center and put them on the handle of the balloon. I use dense sisal, which bends perfectly, bends and can take the necessary shape. About 2 centimeters, the sisal remains on the handle of the balloon, and then I fix it, tie the sisal with a balloon for modeling. Now I tie the bouquet with a beautiful satin ribbon to match the bouquet. I will glue small bows on the top of the bobo balloon. I glue the bows with a low-temperature glue gun with a power of up to 20 watts. So, we have the balloon ready, and now let's see how the gypsophiles are colored. The first inflorescence is the inflorescence that I sprayed. The second inflorescence drank the tinted water, and the staining has just begun. I pull the third inflorescence out of the tinted water, and we see that it has colored a little better than the second one. So, I have shown you the main ways of staining gypsophila at home. A bouquet with gypsophila in a bobo balloon is ready, light, beautiful, reliable. The air from such a balloon will definitely not come out. To make it very easy and simple, your customers will definitely be delighted with your work. Thank you for watching us.